That's why Boy's back in the car so early.
I was going to say I didn't expect him back in. Bloody hell, he's going to have a knackered head by the end of the day. Welcome back, sneaky squirrels. Okay.
So quarter I've ever seen in my life.
That was a short video.
And I'm just like a prolonged logo. If it was the other way around, it might make sense, but. And we're back.
La cucaracha, la cucaracha.
Lovely. Welcome back then to the next couple of hours here of Race Department's Le Mans 24 hours. Where are we? We're on some kind of cross-country spree going on there. We're here at the Nordschleife here. My name's Simon Smith. I'm taking you through the 24 hours with my little help from my friends, or more than a little help. We've just lost whilst we was just in that break. I pointed out Patrick Jakulski for Sim Racing PL Raceboard was limping back to the pits. He got there and promptly retired his car. So that's the end of them. We're now down to just 26 teams. Sorry, 27 teams remaining. And Robert Taylor is still the last of those. We have in the commentary booth with us still as ever Joachim Skaustad.
Woo!
Woo! Oscar Hardwick.
Hello!
Roy Magnus.
Good morning.
Simon Irish, you won't say anything?
You whispered it to us, but you know, never mind.
And we'll be taking you through the next couple of hours, no doubt. I've got a beer. They've got a crash barrier. We're all happy. Don't worry, you can join us as ever over on racedepartment.com. And yes, Bram Hengeveld, that sunset is awesome. We have the chat box for you to all chat and get to know each other. We've got William Levesque in there as ever, Jonathan Tommy Lee's in there too.
William Levesque.
Levesque, sorry. Also, I spy Eric Strachan in there too, who, even though their car is retired, has decided to park up for the evening and have a good giggle with us. Oh yes. You can also tweet hashtag RD24H and let us know what you're thinking with that too. And we've also got good old Bookface, just in case you fancy some of that.
And if you want to send us a post, send it to Joachim Skalstad, Nedre Skalstad 3340 och
He would also like donations.
Yeah, to my PayPal account.
Like bombs in lettership as well to that same address. There we go. Since the sun is setting, that means that I will be driving the car into the twilight then. Well, they don't allow it until I get into the car, but still. Could be nice.
And if some of the drivers want to get interviewed, please join the green room. Because we're running the blue paint.
And then we'll decide we like you.
Yeah, I will go down there, have a chat, and approve you or not.
Yeah.
If you pay me enough, I will approve you anyway. And if you have cake, you're stuck there. I'm eating the cake and leaving you.
Everyone likes a little slice of heaven. In the forums, Bjorn Drisker's popped in there. His first stint was good. Start was fair, overtaking went good and had no problems. He had just one spin on the GT course, but took no damage. The speed of Wilfried Van Brink is incredible. Special fuel or chemicals, I think. 21 hours to go. Let's see how the race ends. Good luck to everyone.
Fuel.
And don't be sorry for your bad English, Bjorn, because you've managed to put together a sentence that I couldn't. So, all is good there. Aside from
That's not so hard.
That's not hard at all. But no, if you are, if you don't fancy popping into the commentary booth and actually having a chat with us, stick your stuff down in the forum and we'll read it out for you. Because
Of course, understandable if you wouldn't want to talk to us because we're completely insane.
Not us.
just to answer Richard Roberts' question, 39 teams were due to start today's event that moved forward to the actual race itself.
So 38. We were 31 cars on the grid, including 2 pace cars and 1 broadcast car.
Just getting some info back on the Toronto Motorsport car that's running in 10th position. Borna Spoljaric lost some, I think it was force feedback when he went out onto the track, so they had to bring Boy van der Laar back into the car early. He's done most of the race so far as well, as we hit the 4-hour mark. And unfortunately, Boy has now got the same problem, so I'm not quite sure what's going to happen for them, because that's going to be a real hampering issue as they go on. I mean, you can kind of get used to it as they go around, loving the sunset around this circuit, but yeah, it's going to provide a bit of an issue for them. Quick run through of the order just while we're approaching the 4-hour mark, and we'll go from start to finish. We've got Pablo Garcia leading currently for 05 Motorsports in the GT1 category, leading that one too. He's pulled out to 4.8 seconds now clear of Standard Oosterdal for online sim racing Deutschland, who, yeah, getting a little bit leery. He's dropped away. He was closing down Pablo Garcia, now he's not, so I wonder if he's just getting into his stride. Third for Tomek Kampf for Sim Racing PL Race Board team. He's 2.5 minutes off the pace, but still going on strong in that suspiciously B-looking car. It reminds me of, it doesn't remind me of Herbie at all, but if Herbie went to a paint colour scheme, then that would be that. Sergei Soldatov is fourth for Curie Sim Sports, 20 seconds behind him, but still doing a fantastic job. As is Lars Koldewich for Sim Racing VN, whose pronunciation of his surname will change every time it comes out me gob. 3.75 minutes off the leader. A last unlapped runner who's actually closed in the last couple of laps is Attila Kish for Simco Dream Team. He's just shaved off another second off Pablo Garcia's time, so I'll look at his lap times once he's completed a couple to see exactly where he is, but he's doing well for Simco Dream Team. 6th position. Leading the GT2 category, 7th overall, is Rickard Helston. We've not seen much of him. That's because he's been minding his own business and doing a pretty damn good job in 7th. Toronto Motorsport Mobile. He's ahead of Vladimir Koltarski for Akuri Sim Motorsport, 2nd in the GT2 class. And not a million years behind Rickard Helston, it has to be said. It's just that they've kept things very stagnant in terms of gaps, so he's doing well. 9th for James Johnson, trying to recover that Roaring Pipes Maniacs GT1 Celine, sorry. So, doing well in the hands of him. 10th, as we've just heard with some force feedback issues, is Boy van der Laar, who's kicking up the grass. So, next car screams my cameraman, who is Toronto Motorsport owner. Brendan Kazmarek facing the right way for our Motorsports. Back in the car again.
Finally!
Yeah, he's doing well. 12th for George Peklo, who we've been the silent assassin. He's gone right up the field there for GT2. Doing a good job. He's Georgie Porch. And he's not too far, actually, ahead, though, of Daniel Solsch for Simon Skins Motorsports. One hell of a gok on the side. 14th, Ole Marius Meervold. Pinky!
Yes.
Oh, yes. We do like Pinky. And we've got our own commentators cheering on our RMI Motorsports, partly because they are part of it. But I'll cheer them on partly because of their rear spoiler, which is awesome. I will show no bias to that much. 15th, Daniel Faber back in the car again for Simtech Motorsports. Ooh, careful, careful. Just because you got screen time, but doing a good job and managing to keep it on the black stuff for the time being. Sergei Yashin continuing to go up the order, doing well. Still only a lap down as well for Rising Power Motorsports. Good job by them. 17th and 2 laps adrift is the GT1 car of Adam Egbeer for DSC Motorsports. They've had a few off-road excursions, but it appears to have quietened down for them now. Yeah, team eggnog for Egbeer. Ger Peters, welcome to the race for Sim Race VN GT2 class. He's just joined the server, so good stuff for him. 19th position. Just rounding turn 1 and off around the GP circuit is Alvin Nuevas for Water Blue Racing. the GT2 class. Please don't let their team manager in. He's like a curse of death for that team. 20th. Yeah, Alvin. I tell you what, if he was singing as that was going on, he would have sounded like Alvin the Chipmunk. Roy Schroten. Where's the other Schroten? There needs to be both of them. I want Team Schroten back for GPVWC in 20th position.
Ooh, 22-23, a big crash.
Oh, yeah, big problems there. As I was clicking on Carl Middleton facing the wrong way there in 23rd place. Let's have a little
Monstrous
replay
as
of that.
Oh dear. Is that Carl Middleton?
It is. I said it, didn't I?
I was like, be nice to Carl. You can't presume these things. Apparently you can.
I can indeed, because Von Savicius has been viciously attacked. By the looks of it, the LT United car now down in 23rd, limping round. Chuck Penfield and I think was involved in that too. I don't necessarily think that was Carl's fault, because I can't see it, because he was the last one on the scene. But yeah, not good those. So UKNL, George Pole was already angry earlier on in the race, as that's Mr. Taylor limping round in 27th too, so he's in trouble. So yeah, 22nd then Carl Middleton for Ace Motorsport. 23rd, Vladislav Von Savicius for LT United. Limping back, he'll be in the pits. Adam Kozminski for Sim Racing PL race board. That's been, well, his back door has been well and truly smashed in at some point round the track, because that's just looking wrong. But at least he gets a weight advantage. Martin Bolgen and Gary Allen, woo! They're going to be my cheery honours for the rest of the race. Doing well for GT1, 2 laps adrift, 10.66 racing. In 27th, still going is Pinky, Regis Lemecq for Ace Kite Racing. And in 27th place is Robert Taylor for Olympic Motor Racing Team.
Seems like he's having
back.
some issues with his car.
Yeah.
Well, it's a front left puncture both on Robert Taylor and on Valdas Von Savicius.
Yeah.
This is like the disabled run back down the straight, because they're racing each other, but neither can go at full speed.
It's a three-legged race.
It is. All we need is Janis Paulik back out in the three-wheeled car. Yeah. Well, let's get Nigel Mansell out to push his car over the line as well. That'll finish that one off. There's that car. That was a blue car they're looking up. I think that was.
Might be. Oh, that.
Olympic Motorsport.
That was the Skins and Sims, was it?
Yeah,
that's the one.
And Roy Scroton
Stop
just
there.
came out from the pits as well. They were into the pits last lap, so I presume there has been a drive-through or something like that.
Yeah, not good at all. Von Savicius, sorry, into the pits from 24th, but LT United finally has made it in, and as has Robert Taylor too for Olympic Motors Racing. Finally, I thought he got stuck on the very last corner curb there, but he managed to hop himself off. So that is your racing order, the retirements. I'll quickly go through them. We've got Speedmaster by OSR, retired lap 25. Sim Racing PL GT2, Team 2, retired on lap 25 as well. Optimum Motorsport crashed it out on lap 20. Hell Racing Team also lost a wheel after a crash on lap 18. Western Wolves disconnected on lap 10. SBI binned it on lap 4. And then we had our 4 disconnections over the start-finish line for ME Racing, Rare Endurance, Zeno Motorsports and SRO Motorsports too. So 27 teams still in the running.
Well, that's not bad, thinking that the majority of retirement you're going to get at the beginning of the race, seeing as we're now sort of heading closer towards the middle part. You know, well, it's not long until we'll be closer to the middle of the race than the beginning of the race.
I sense a bit of over-optimism.
You know what? There's nothing wrong with optimism, because if you're not being optimistic, you're being pessimistic, and therefore depressing and miserable.
And being a Charlton fan, you kind of have to be optimistic, I think.
No, that's stupidity.
Oh.
And Ole Marius Myhrvold is in pits for the RMI Motorsport team.
Interestingly, actually, the leading duo, Pablo Garcia and Stanton Ostal, now 3.8 seconds, the gap between the two. So I don't know if Ostal is slowly ramping things back up again, or if Garcia's just had bad traffic or something. But the gap, not exactly closing down quickly, but as he crosses the line now, let's just see what it's turned into. No, 4.7. So it's just kind of yo-yoing around depending on what's going on as Mirlan's in the pits. Pinky getting his perkies.
And we had a driver swap in the Olympic Porsche. Marius Nicolas has now taken over the car.
I'm going to cheer him on because he's near the back of the field and wanting to win. Come on.
I didn't get that one. I couldn't hear what you're saying.
I think I'm going to cheer Marius Nicolas because he's near the back of the field. Just see an extent.
Oh.
You never know, it's still 20 hours left.
My
19.
predict this stage is that our car will win.
And we had a driver swap also in the LT United Panos with Thomas and Jonas taking over the car.
That's the Lithuanian guys.
They're the names that I could just never pronounce. Where are they? What position are they in?
Ooh, 25.
Oh, and Beastrov is in P16 for Rising Power too. Oh no, Anius, I can do that one. Limited speech problems. So maybe my pronunciation will get better with alcohol.
Oh, please no.
There is only one way to find out, Simon.
Fight! Oh.
Chug, 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 chug. Oh, and Brennan Kashmarek was off the track again.
No.
Yeah, P11. He's getting back going again. After
Sorry for the sarcasm there. All of my optimism's just been removed from me. My innocence, my happiness.
Your innocence.
in the
No,
child.
that wasn't me. Maybe after
Simon,
stands for
Simon,
rec
you
for
removed
rec.
the innocence from the stream, literally probably within the first 10 minutes. What of
Before we even
was.
started.
That wasn't for airing. I
Well-
think R for R Motorsport stands for rec for rec.
Rec begins with a W.
Thank you!
Congratulations, Simon.
That was all Simon's optimism has gone as well.
I have buckets. They just come in handy bottles that are percentage of at least 8 alcohol. Handy bottles of fun. It's Brahma, actually, to be fair. So ginger beer. Oh, it's because Bradley's a little child. As the leaders lap Nikolai, and the gap down to 3.5 seconds as they negotiate traffic. Such an interesting play because they're so close to each other in terms of actual times. Last lap around Pablo Garcia in 8:06, 3:02, followed by Stanster Ostal for a 8:06, 7:67. I find that Garcia's lap times yo-yo, but generally can be quicker than Ostadal's. It just depends on whether Garcia can actually keep up with the momentum and pace that he can potentially do or not. So it's going to be interesting to see just how long his nut can withstand before it gets cracked.
The weirdest simile I've heard. No, I don't know, I mean, it just depends, I think, what kind of mindset you go into the race with. If you want to win, and then obviously you're just going to try and go in and push as hard as you can, but if you're just looking to finish the race and bring the car home, obviously you're just going to try and keep it on the track and see what happens. So it depends how hard he's willing to push to try and catch Garcia.
Yeah, let's pop on board and see what's going on. Just a random question. I was going to ask my Nordic friends, but I don't think they'd know. Eric Strain has put in all these beverages are things I'm not allowed to consume by Swedish law. is alcohol banned in Sweden, or is it just that it's a different age limit or something?
Yeah, Eric
I imagine.
kid.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, he's a
okay.
younger one.
Is he Slim Pandas?
Well, not that bad.
Don't worry, Eric. I'm in the same boat as you.
I'm not sure
I
how
am.
old is 15, 16, 17, somewhere.
I forget that everyone's not like my age. I forget.
We're not all dinosaurs, Simon. You're right.
Ah,
Don't worry, Simon. I'm not that much younger.
awesome.
I'm 17.
I'm
That's
60.
why they
Well, I'm
pick on
17
me.
next Friday, so a week yesterday.
I almost want to start playing with your cheeks.
That's kind of creepy.
Which cheeks?
That's also kind of creepy.
So, yeah, let's continue on, see what's going on elsewhere. I don't know. Sorry, go for it.
Yeah, you carry on, it's all good.
So, someone in the chat room, Marcel, has asked a request from the cameraman, would it be possible at some point to do a fixed camera in an interesting place?
Problem is we don't have a camera in the broadcast booth.
Yeah.
And that's the most interesting place at the moment.
I wouldn't want one in, well, what would you do? You could have a look over my game collection, that would probably be about all the interest that's in this room, to be fair.
Just a pointer. Second position has been catching up to Garcia. Little by little, the last few laps. From this onboard camera, you can see that Garcia is really locking up the fronts a lot more. Just locking up in general. So maybe, well, I say it there, he's gone locked up. But
Brendan Kashmerick and George Pecklow, both in the pits from 12th and 13th, they've just rejoining themselves now. No battle for position, but they were just both in together.
maybe Garcia's not quite as happy in that car.
Either way, he's still currently your leader, so the race is entirely his to lose at the moment. It just depends how much second place he's willing to push. We'll see as the race goes on. Still 19 hours yet. You can't win it within the first 5 hours, so let's just see what happens. Is that another beer being opened, or...?
No, that was me forgetting where my mouth was and just actually smacking it up against my teeth. I didn't realise that'd come out on air. Never mind. Well, special. Everyone wonders why I don't drive particularly well.
So everyone trying to settle down now, and I guess it's just they've all looked up at the sky and gone, oh no, it's getting dark. This is really the time to find yourself a rhythm where you don't have to go past anyone or let anyone by. You just want to find a pace.
It's really the
stick to
time
it.
where Osterdahl's going to have a go at the win, by the looks of it, as they get round. Sorry to jump over you, but I don't realise how close they were. They was just getting round Chuck Penfield, who's stuck on the curb at the final corner in P24, and they were just trying to round him. He's just reversed back onto the track, so let's hope there's no one coming soon, because if they do, he's going to get a little bit stuck. In fact, that's Nikolai getting round as well. But yeah, the leading duo down into turn one. Osterdahl feeling that now is the time to attack. He just suddenly reeled in Garcia around that last lap. So once again, he may be the faster of the two, but he cannot keep his momentum and consistency up as Osterdahl starts to reel him round the GP circuit.
It's not going to be a sight Garcia wants to look at. That bright orange car is going to be all over the back of that rear bumper in no time at this rate.
And Chuck Penfield is currently hitting one of the stewards on the side of the track. No, don't run over her. She's
This
a
isn't-
good one.
Oh!
He killed them both.
It's all gone a bit Carmageddon towards the back of the pit, but Osterdahl continues to reel in.
There goes his engine.
I wonder if Osterdahl's thought here is that Garcia is, you know, is ahead of him at the moment. As soon as it gets pitch black, there's going to be, you know, less opportunities to pass. So he wants to get it done now and give himself some breathing space.
Because as soon as you get into the darker conditions, doesn't it, you automatically almost want to pull away from and not be around anyone else because you've got such a less field of vision to deal with.
Well,
so
you're going to have to be focusing so much more on your lines and where the track is, but to have other cars around you and to be racing it's going to start overloading the majority of people quite a lot. And well, I'm just thinking that, you know, finding yourself some space, especially now where it's got to be less than 90 minutes until it's getting properly dark for these drivers.
Yeah, right on the back, but I mean, as you say, it's a completely different mindset, you know, daylight driving to nighttime driving, because as you say, you know, there's 1 minute space because the last thing you want to do is follow just 2 massive brake lights just glaring in your window. So you just want to try and find yourself some space to actually find and feel your way around the track, because instead of following someone else's line, it's try and get the job done as quickly as possible, but A, do you risk it, or B, just wait until perhaps Garcia makes a mistake, because he is locking up a lot recently.
Or wait till they catch Kaminsky, who they're coming round to lap, change of position on Natasha Kaminsky, or Kaminsky, whatever it is. James Johnson has binned it and has dropped down to 12th behind Daniel Search as they go up through the field, as they get round Kaminsky, who moves out of the way quite nicely, just about holding onto the position, but Garcia making his car quite wide around some of these positions.
You just got to think that Osterdahl's sitting there waiting for that prime time to make a run.
They've got Martin Bolger and Gary Allen next up to lap as we hit the ads. Don't worry, we'll keep you well informed on the action. Garcia's still got Osterdahl all over him as they come to approach to lap Gary Allen and Martin Bolger for the 4th time, but he moves out of the way beautifully indeed, sorry, the 3rd time. So, nicely done, they know how to be lapped. And they continue on, it looks like they've got a little bit of clear track for the first time this lap. Let's see exactly who can do what with what where. Oh, as we've had someone leave the game. Who's that? It's Baz Bartenbold for UKNL Racing, who's crashed out from 26. That's a shame.
Chuck Penfield was actually driving the car, so...
Oh, okay. So they went into the pits and it just all went horribly wrong.
Yeah, they were stuck in the wall, so they couldn't get out of the wall. I just went and spoke with them, and they were trying to be nice and letting someone through, and then they got stuck.
Damn.
They might drop in a little while.
Oh, good stuff. We do like the UKNL team. They're main staples for this series. It's a shame to see them out before Baz really got a chance to turn a wheel. Just looking at the eagle-eye view, and it's well, the next car they're going to have to pass is Carl Middleton, and he's around the corner away. So it's just a question of, does Osterdahl try and bide his time, just put Garcia under a bit of pressure, and then maybe wait for a move if Carl moves out the way and maybe sneak through? Could be. And Carl Middleton, we know, is a mini bit of a live wire. Just a smidgeroo. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, Osterdahl actually now pretty much the furthest behind that he's been for a little while. So I don't know, twos and fro's and goes back and forth, nothing else. In a way, I guess it's kind of helped him. I mean, he's got some clean air now instead of being tucked up behind the rear all the time. He's just got some nice hot air going into the actual end of the car instead of the warm air being blown off the Garcias. So absolutely. James Johnson now down to 13th position off your screens. George Pecklow has gone through as well. I don't know what's going on with James Johnson. I think he's pulling back to the pits with a damaged car for Roaring Pipe Maniac, so their day continues to get worse. Osterdahl, excuse me, just popping a little bit closer once again. It does appear that he must have a car that's got a little bit more downforce, I think, because he's much better under braking and under acceleration in general. But down the straights he loses out. So whatever he's going to have to do, I think it's going to be in one of the bigger braking zones as opposed to actually going down the straight, although Garcia's too busy bouncing around for that to really be an issue at the moment. And that is why Garcia is being reeled in by Osterdahl, because he's the one that's doing the tighter lines, the more consistently good racing, for want of a better word. As you can see, little flashes of Carl Middleton potentially coming up onto my screens, at least anyway.
I was going to say, he's actually getting there quite quickly, quite alarmingly quickly as well. I mean, they've gained, this is like, you know, what, like a minute or two, and they've actually kind of closed up on him. So Sadar, of course, right back on the rear of the 05 Motorsports car of Garcia. So this could be the another lead change.
Jump, jump.
Here we go, Carl Middleton. Which way is he going to go? Is he going to try and box him
look
in?
at
That'll
this,
be clever racing if it does.
Oh, a bit of a touch there, and that's not going to do too much harm as they come up to Carl Middleton. But you can see the three of them there. And Ostadar being tucked up right behind, waiting for the opportunity as they go through with no problem.
Now I don't think that they, Ostadar will actually have the straight line speed to be able to challenge down here. He's not close enough necessarily now on the slipstream. There was someone down the other end of the straight. They won't approach them anytime in the next minute or so. But see, he's dropping away down the straight, which confirms exactly how these cars I think are set up to be. But Ostadar, I think, definitely has gone for stability rather than outright raw pace.
Probably the best bet in a race like this is probably the same option I'd go for.
Oh, and that's James Johnson, that broken car, as I was saying earlier on, both doing so well to get round that. As James Johnson limps into the pits. Talking to him on Facebook, and he was hoping for a good one. It's not quite going to plan. He's still 13th, but he's now 2 laps adrift from the leaders as he comes into repairs at the almost 4.5 hour mark.
I think there will be a smile on Garcia's face. He gained a huge chunk of time after going around James. He said the gap down to, well, up to 1.5 seconds as they go through turn 2.
Very interesting battle.
I think this shows just how much of a factor lap cars are in a race like this.
As we move to being on board with the second position man, Standard Ostal. Gap now up to 1.5 seconds, the largest it had been for pretty much the entire last 2 laps. Nothing else is as close round the track at the moment, so we'll stick with this for now. James Johnson is in the pits. Looks like he'll rejoin potentially either just ahead or just behind Ole Marius Meervold, 13th and 14th positions for RMI Motorsports. Pick up Roy. Woo! But yeah, it's all going on, and Marius Nicolai has finally got past the retired Baz Verdenbol, so now all 26 are in line with each other on the rankings, standings, sorry, as they move off onto the Nordschleife itself.
Well, I can see it's getting dark quite fast now. Won't be long until we have a pitch black broadcast.
Garcia startled them right on the back of Garcia once again. He said Simon, this has been to and fro for a good few laps now, and it's just whether he can kind of pluck up the courage to try and push a move on him, perhaps. This will all become clear as the race goes on. 19.5 hours left in the race department. 24 hours of Nordschleife, your current leader, falling under lots of pressure from second place Manuel Stadl, and we'll follow this battle until the end. So let's just see how it goes on as they go through one of the most trickiest parts of the Nordschleife circuit. Flat out for the majority of it, just constant. So 3 right-handers in a row there before heavy braking and switching, flicking the wheel over to a left-hand slow bank. And he's just going to try and pick up the slipstream as quick as he can onto the back of Garcia. If you've just joined us, it's been quite an eventful race so far, a few retirements. But I think it's still 27 teams left, so but what is interesting is that the two leaders, Garcia and Stadl, who are very close right now, the next two cars they will come into in quick succession will be Roy Shorten and George Palucci, so these guys need to try and get their foots down and get past that traffic as soon as possible, because we saw earlier that Garcia actually managed to gain around a second due to a lap car being on the racing line. So if that can happen again, I think Garcia may have a cheeky smile on his face, but he's got to be careful now because Ostado is not going to give up easily.
When we're talking about the driver swaps, we say hello to Jan Wimensing, who's taken over the sim race Vereniging Nederland GT1 Lamborghini in 5th position overall.
To me it actually looked like Garcia's having trouble with his tires. Tires all over the place.
I don't know how far ago is it since he had a pit stop. Laps.
Now what will be interesting as well is if perhaps when Garcia does make the driver swap, as you see the cars dart into the sunset, whether the new driver can keep up the pace and maybe pull away from Stadl.
Do depend on who will take over the car, because Wilfred van der Brink was the one who is doing the first 2.5 hours or something like that for the OFA Motorsport, and he pulled away.
Yeah, I think it's as well. I mean, Garcia's on older tyres as well, so as soon as they put in the driver swap, not only will they be on fresher tyres, but a new fresh face in the car as well to maybe give them that bit of a boost. And obviously the adrenaline will be pumping in that 05 Motorsport team, but to see if he can maybe pull away or try and get that gap back and maybe leapfrog his Stadl, because we're not sure again who's going to take over from these guys. We know that the next driver's off in the GPVWC team will be Ryan Walker as he steps up for his shift in the team. And the team aren't doing that badly at the moment actually, so it'll be nice to see what Walker can do as you see as Stadl and Garcia approach Roy Shorten down the straight. You're going to have to try and slipstream past him as quick as possible, because you don't want to really get in traffic in corners if you can avoid it, especially on this track. I think just from this view you can see the speed of the GT1 cars, you know. I mean, they're just approaching so quickly to the, the lap car in front as he sensibly moves out of the way. It's very well played as no hesitation there and didn't make anyone lose time. If anything, may have given a solid bonus as Garcia's in the pits. So drivers, what possibly then 405 Motorsports, and Estado becomes your new race leader.
Been very few laps in this race where 05 Motorsports haven't been leading.
Yeah, maybe this is a start of a new reign then as Garcia. Let's just watch this pit stop then. So let's just see if Estado can use this to his advantage, and or, you know, will he start to lose time? Because what will be interesting is to see what that 05 Motorsport car can do on fresh tyres. If they can perhaps pull back to the leader now.
And now Wilfred van den Brink is
gets back into the car.
Wilfred had a very good start at this race. So if someone will be able to catch up with Andostadal, it would be him.
Yeah, Van der Brink's quite an established name in the sim racing community, and I'm sure he'll be itching to show his potential here today. So let's just see what he can do.
Well, he already has shown his potential here today, having pulled a near on 50-second gap on everybody by himself at the beginning.
Quite a lot of traffic ahead of him as well. With a lot of well, maybe not many actually, but a couple of GT2 cars at least. Currently looking jumps out on the circuit. What? There's one of I know there's one of the retro DTM videos out on the net that you can see there, where they are onto the Nordschleife and everyone is jumping over, jumping in a corner. That's exactly the spot we've got the camera on right now. Although nobody seems to want to pass the camera.
I heard a rumor that there are some cars driving on the track. Looks like someone coming up.
It's just surely this is the fixed camera request then from earlier, so hopefully you're still watching this.
Hopefully there will be more cars.
2.
There you go.
There we go. Oh, and that's a great view. Just see, you don't really get that sense of air until you see a view like this, just how much off the ground these cars can get as they fly over the bump.
Well, this is the exact corner I think where Roy wrecked his car during testing.
Didn't wreck it, I just spun.
Yeah, almost wrecked it. I know I wrecked one. Oh, I wrecked plenty actually, but
I was going to say one was a bit generous.
yeah. And our cameraman has a good point there, Simon.
Sorry, I've only just sat back down again.
This is where actually SBI crashed on lap 4 from Simon Maluish. So a bit of inside info there.
That's our cameraman.
Well, Simon's a cameraman?
Mm.
Ah. Learn something new every day.
And he's a darn good cameraman. Just doesn't speak
He was.
much.
So what did I
if you
miss
jump
while
to,
we was away?
Jump to position number 8, there Kotliarski and Van der Laar is fighting for the second position in the GT2 category out onto the long straight.
Oh, he's proper up inside actually as well. So he's pulling out
Ooh.
down a long straight. Ooh, that was a bit leery, wasn't it? Here they come
You're
down
not
there.
supposed to change your lines. Right?
No.
Needs to try and find a way past. I think he's got enough momentum now, though. He's trying to push his way on the outside. And that's a great camera view there, just watching them stream through.
That was a good move there by Boyd, because remember he lost his force feedback on his outlap, so he's driving effectively numb-fingered. So he's probably just getting a feel for things as he was moving left and right, just to make sure that he was good for the pass. Immediately, look at how far he's immediately pulling away there from Vladimir. So up into second once again. Torrent Motorsport, try as they may to lose this 1-2, they keep getting it back. So they continue to surprise and reprise their bride and bridesmaids positions. And,
Really, what they are actually doing a very good job recovering for each of those small that happen. So
they are doing well actually. Lee Palmer's back in the DSC Motorsports car in P18, so that's good. And I don't know if we've mentioned Simtech Motorsports in 16th position. We've got Shane B and Adam SW have taken over, so that must be two people as part of a team sharing a PC, which must be ultimate confusion for that team. They're out on track in P16, so welcome Shane and Adam.
Unless they're schizophrenic.
I feel that that was almost a post-watershed comment said there.
No. No harm.
So, let's go and jump on an onboard person. Who should we go for? Maybe we should go for last position so that we can see the sheer difference between each person as they go. Because we've been on board with the front person, let's jump on board with Marius Nikolai for Olympic Motorsport Racing.
Go Nikolai!
And yeah, we'll see what's going on there. As
I'm backing in for the win.
why not? Why not? If they're on the black stuff and still going.
A bit off there, but
Black
maybe
stuff
I've
is the
made the
good
wrong
stuff.
decision with the backing, but
See, I'd much rather have this as a roller coaster than being on the lead. Oh! Slip and slide. Almost like he's got soap under his wheels.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to put the soap there?
Suddenly, someone remembers to tell Roy and Joachim that actually we're not in Mario Kart.
Aww.
I haven't played the new Mario Kart actually on the 3DS. I might need to give that a whirl at some point. Bit off topic, but
Well, in that case, welcome to the club.
I think you can see
Okay.
Ewan compared to this driving here. It seems a lot more aggressive, trying to fight the car. Is it someone trying to push away from what the driver wants to do?
Adam Kuzminski in 22nd position. Just while we're watching this onboard lap, we're going to stay with it because Mr. Melhuish is taking a well-earned cuppa. But he is in trouble down the back straight for Sim Racing PL Raceboard. He's got himself back going up to a reasonable speed now, but he's missing parts of his car. I think it's spun coming out onto the thing because he doesn't look particularly more damaged than what he was before. And the car is looking a smidgy bit of a wreck, but he's still plodding on in. Jan Memensing out there for Sim Race VN. Didn't see him pop on while I was away having a quick recharge.
I did.
Way good stuff. So we're coming up. Well, we're coming up to the 5-hour mark. That actually has gone quite quickly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Alvin Neves is into pits for Waterblue Racing.
Oh, he's down in 22nd now. He was in the top 20 earlier on. Whoops. That's not worked out well for him. So, don't see anything else going on. I can't believe that after coming up for 5 hours, we're only on lap 35 as Marius Nicolai once again fails to make it around the tarmac. So,
Well, there was tarmac on the outside.
the right type of tarmac.
What is Neve doing?
He's stuffed tires.
Oh yeah, he's come straight out of the pits. Alan Nueva's in, or Neve, sorry, in Waterblue Racing. That's not worked at all. We saw Pablo Garcia nearly do it, actually, when he rejoined onto the track earlier on, but that's Neve's, and he's almost slow going.
Goldstar in Westgate.
All goes past as well, and he had actually to drop a position to Thomas and Jonas. Jonas. Go past into the wall. Oh, that's a puncture, I guess. Kinda sound like it. So, Alvin Neves' car.
Welcome, Floria Callan, to the chat room. And Ivan Axkinel. Yeah, Alvin, that's locking up brakes all over the place. I don't know what he's doing. Nutter. Anyone got a particularly favourite livery?
What was it? The LT Motorsports Panos. I really enjoy
The orange one.
the orange. Yeah, the orange one. That's the one.
Thomas Anuis. And Anuis. Yep, I quite like that one. I think maybe slightly biased with the RMI Motorsport one with the rear wing, but I actually do quite like the GPVWC car. I like that little. It reminds me of swimming in a summery ocean. It's like ocean blue, very sweet. It's turquoise. It's a shame that the Bet Lynch car isn't running. There's not enough purple on this grid for my liking.
Is there ever enough purple on the grid for your liking?
Alvin Neves is struggling with getting around there, and is actually instead of going around the Grand Prix circuit and into the pits to get that car fixed, he has then left and went out onto the Nordschleife again. But both Jürgen and Remco is on it.
So Simon, when will we be getting a bit of your gaming trivia going? Now that we're heading towards the dark hours of the race.
Oh God, we could. We should set a time actually for doing. We have for anyone who's prepared to stay with us a couple of quizzes. Oscar's done a couple, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a GT racing and a bit of touring cars, so it's not a very long quiz, but you know we can spread it out. Some tough questions in there. Should be
Good
fun.
stuff. And I've done a 20 questions on sim racing or racing games. So I couldn't really call all of the games that I've got questions on sim racing unless you like to throw a mushroom or a banana at someone on the track. Yes, we'll keep that entertained with you as all. George Pecklow in 12th position was just off skimming around the outskirts of the circuit, somehow kept out the wall. But yes, we've got plenty of things to keep you occupied. Obviously takeaway bingo. Must have a go at that. Probably get out some musical instruments, like about with those as well. We'll obviously take all your questions and comments. The more interactive we make it, the more it will keep you occupied and interested. And of course, I've been reading everyone's comments in the chat room.
I think we should find a song and then commentate to the song. Could be fun.
Yeah. I have to choose something very hyperactive, I think.
I think a bit of Slipknot or Bring Me the Horizon will do the job.
Who's coming down straight? La 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 la.
You sound a bit like Animal from the Muppets just then.
Muppets rule. I've not seen a new Muppets film.
Oh, there's a big bit of smoke there, and that's
That's,
someone off.
well, that was Celine, wasn't it?
I think so. Where are we? Yeah.
James Johnson, 13.
Yeah.
That car has seen so much punishment in these last 5 hours under the hands of James Johnson and Dragasava. Somehow the car is still going. Joachim is breathing a sigh of relief. Something's gone on wrong there somewhere, surely.
I'm not sure that was a relief, but
Or pain.
problem is, what Blue Racing was supposed to go straight into the pits after the GP cars, but for some reason they didn't. So Remco is off trying to figure out what went wrong. And for a moment there we was actually discussing putting on a full course yellow. Because they are driving out without the front tire, front wheel, I guess.
Oh, and he's got. Oh yeah, P24 then. Alvin Neves stuck, very much like what we had with Janos earlier on. Stuck going round the full course with only 3 wheels on his wagon. He's missing the left front, and that's not worked at all. And if he did he do that down into turn 1, where he just seemed to drive straight out of the pits and into the barrier?
No, I actually think it was gone before that, because he went into the pits and then just went straight out without stopping.
I think you may be in trouble there, because the last tyre wasn't replaced, was it? As you can see, Bistrup was just lapping.
Yeah, they have to do a driver swap to get the car fixed. Because you can't fix that kind of damage without doing a driver swap.
Well, let's hope it works, because I don't know if... hopefully it will work, but we'll soon find out. But troubling times for Water Blue Racing, and that is Soldatov popping round and just popping a lap on Alvin and his chipmunks as they continue round.
Kinda hard to get a comment from them also, because Dimitro is not talking on the broadcast, on the TeamSpeak, he's just texting, so it's taking some time.
We've got a battle shaping up, not right now, but it will be in probably a lap and a half's time. Adam Kuzminski is closing back down on Carl Middleton in the battle for 20th and 21st between Ace Motorsport and Sim Racing PL Raceboard. But that's not going to happen for a little bit, but it's good to see something is in the makings, as Neves continues to go round right in the middle of the track as well. He just needs to pull over and get out of the way.
Wilfried Van der Brink still currently holds the fastest lap at 7 minutes 54 seconds. That's a stonker of a time.
Yeah, that's quite fast.
No,
Way
guys,
faster.
I will have to leave you now and then go to channel to prepare for driving.
Best of luck, Roy. How you feeling?
Feeling quite good, so hopefully it'll be nice. I'll catch you in hopefully in a couple of hours.
Best of luck, Roy, and hopefully we'll talk to you after your stint.
Oh, we will. Because after him, I'm guessing I will be driving.
So quite a few drive swaps on the cars then. Obviously Roy Magnus will take his spot very shortly, as will Dave Carr-Smith for Toro Motorsports, and then Ryan Walker for the GPV WC team. So those two guys know each other very well, so it'll be interesting to see how they do.
What Porsche have we just seen go off in the background there? It was Mr. Neves not having good fun at all. He's just got himself back on the
He's missing a
tarmac.
whip, right?
Problem is that he's going to be...
Is he actually missing a wheel?
Yeah, he's missing the front
yeah.
end.
Over a lap.
Just to
Now he
correct
has to get
also
off the
that
track, get off the
Ooh.
track.
It can't be safe having anyone that's missing a wheel out on track.
Oh, close. I think there might be a bit of
I
a
don't-
complaint there.
I don't like what I'm seeing.
No,
Not the
I think
safest thing to do in the world. Or
let's
the
go and
smartest.
let's pop our cameras on something else. I think for the time being, because that may be a drama. 22nd position, Thomas Anius is into the pits, so he's plodding along. Adam Kozinski is still closing down Carl Middleton, but not very quickly, so that's not really a battle. But P9 is looking juicy indeed. Vladimir Koltarowski is stuck with Brandon Kazmarek behind. Admittedly, it's GT2 versus GT1, and Kazmarek is going to blast through. But
By the way,
see
he's not going
how-
to give up easily.
no, well, he's already had to give it up, I'm afraid, because he's just been slightly abused on the straight line speed. Rouse son of it, yeah, never gonna give you up, never gonna get you down. Been rickrolled.
Never gonna
down the
turn
stretch.
around.
So yeah, not good.
The hell?
So Koltarowski down to 10th, but Kazmarek is down that far for a reason, and that's mainly because he's been facing in the wrong direction for a few fair times. So hopefully now that he's back in the car and it may be slightly betterly repaired than what he had to drive beforehand, he can continue to ascend up the order. Next up would be Boy Vanderlaar for Torrent Motorsport, who's running second in the GT class, behind GT leader Rickard Helston, who we've barely seen, to be fair. So maybe we should give him a little bit of love, because he's been so serene out on his own. We've barely seen him. And he's a Nordic person, so we should give the Nords some love.
I'm quite anxious of how Waterbull Racing is doing. Mr. Malwish.
It's alright, he's into the pits.
Yeah, he's going into the pits now.
25th position, Alvin Naves into the pits at long last. Let's see.
The
what
problem is
happens.
that the Dimitro can't reach Eldon Neves. They're driving without any communication, it seems.
Uh-ohs. What, does someone rip
Those
out their...
spaghettios.
Yeah. Someone rip out their earpiece by any chance?
Oh, he missed his
And he's
hitbox
overshot
again.
as well.
I guess that means he's out.
If you reverse much more, how much is it until you get disqualified, I wonder?
Oh, you can't. The problem is when you miss your spit box, you can't. You have to either drive out and complete a new lap, or you are out.
There's Boy Vanderlaar into the pits. He's hoping that Alvin does not smack him one as
What's
they
he
go down the pit
doing?
lane.
Is he trying for a new lap?
It looks like it. But yeah, someone better tell him to just do the GP circuit if he's going to have another go at it.
Yeah, the problem is we don't want the car driving around the track without the wheel.
There is that too.
You can see him going off the track now, I guess.
The only person that's still behind him is Marius Nicolai for Olympic Motorsports. He's 4 laps down, and he's the only person that is 4 laps down. So as they continue on. Andreas Stankiewicz is back in the LT United car in P23. So welcome back, Andreas. So there's Bonus Foliarix back in the Torrent Motorsport car, replacing Boy Vanderlaars. Exit. When Boy turns 18, will he be called Man Vanderlaar?
Oh, and there goes the Porsche into the wall again.
Well, I think that will be game over if it's not
Oh,
already.
they're still driving.
There's only so much punishment a car pixel can take. So as they continue on their way, what else is going on around the track?
He's still driving with 3 wheels, so I can't see this ending particularly well.
No, that's what
To be
we were
honest,
talking about too.
I don't know, I mean, surely you just pit in. No, you're going to lose a lot of time. You've got 19 hours to make it up, so...
Yeah, but they have to do a driver swap to get the car fixed. And there he spun again.
Yeah.
Ugh. And now he's stuck in the gravel. I don't think he'll get out. Oh, he will. And go off into the pits now. Go right. Go right.
Press right.
Oh my god, he's doing another lap.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
It's just a matter of time before, a guy on the lead lap tries to overtake him, and then by late, and he's going to end someone's race prematurely, which isn't the best feeling in the world to burden.
So, leader into the pits. Thank God for that. And that is a new man, actually. Olaf. Wilfred van der Brink dives through and retakes the lead for 05 Motorsports ahead of Olaf Matzenbacher. Don't know quite what that was coming out my mouth. I think it was. Do you know what? It was because I was eyeing up my last Kit Kat before as I was coming out. I was a bit confused, torn
How much
between
food
two
and
loves.
drink have you got today, Simon?
Not as much as what I had a few hours ago, but Olaf is still getting himself up to speed as they continue to get the heat into the tyres, obviously, and get themselves going. Can definitely see, obviously, the sky darken, but this is now time definitely for lights if you've not already. We're at 7 PM game time now, so that works out. But it's just about time to get out your glad rags and go hunting as Roy quickly, or Joachim quickly jumps into another channel, so I think he's busy preparing potentially for something to happen, maybe pace car related, not sure. We'll keep an eye on that. But Matzenbacher just getting himself going for online sim racing.d, and he's not letting Wilfred get away. That gap kind of went straight out and it's then held itself there. Third position has had a driver change as well. Sim Racing PL Raceboard has now got Majic Pazniki. I think I say it better when I'm drunk, actually, to be fair. Oh, that was meant to be a private. Never mind. But yeah.
I think Marius Nicolai, I mean, the guy behind him, Richard Houston, he's got his P7, and then of course you've got P4, around around 10-20 seconds behind that, so he's going to have to be careful and just try and get out of the way, but obviously with three wheels it's easier said than done, so it's a very weird sort of situation he's found himself in, and it's going to be nice to see how he gets out, and hopefully without hurting anyone else's race.
Well, so yeah, we've got Wilfred now pulling away from Olaf. Mazic is in third. Sergej Solotov is still in 4. Jan Enting for Sim Racing VN is still in 5. Still unlapped as well as Attila Kiss for Simco Dream Team as he comes round to lap that. P16. We got a battle. Here's Geert Peters. We've not seen much of him for Sim Racing VN GT2. Has caught up with Shane and Adam, whichever one's in the car first, not sure, for SimTech Motorsports. And there's been a complete difference between lap times. We've got Geert Peters, which seems to lurch between 850s to 857s. And there he is, almost breaking into the back of our SimTech Motorsports team. But this SimTech Motorsports team are in the 9 minutes 4s, 9 minute 9 last time round, so they lost over 17 seconds in their last lap. And there you can see Peters quite clearly quicker, desperately trying to find a way through, and that's all gone horribly wrong as Shane or Adam, whichever one it is, smack into the barrier. And well, they were running significantly slower, and I think they just were all caught catching each other out because Peters just smacked into the back right corner, and the slightest little tap, but it was on an awkward kink, and round she goes. Not too much harm hopefully done there to the SimTech Motorsports car, but they're back going again, albeit now in 17th position. Still well clear though of Lee Palmer for DSC, behind in 18th. But Yeah, the interesting one that now is going to be developing is directly behind them, Roy Schroten in the GP VWC car, which looks like it really needs to be taken in by a charitable home. There's got Carl Middleton for Ace Motorsport just behind, and then Adam Kuzminski, who is faster of the three, is still very slowly moving up the order. Oh, Schroten, smack bangaroo into the barriers. Double whammy there. If that car is
going to anyone else, thank God, but
not good at all there. Carl Middleton goes through into 19th position. He's off back the wrong way around. Kuzminski just about getting through. Well done to Roy. He put the brakes on to stop him rolling back into the racing line. Just about misses the barrier once again on returning. Another man.
Surely that's a pit stop. I mean, if he pits in, that'll be Ryan Walker, that man to take space, but will he be driving a damaged car?
Because he's not in that team.
Oh, my bad. I thought he was.
No.
He has to have a flat tire now.
So, yes. Flatter than an anorexic on a good day. He's now down in 21st position. Regis Limec is still quite a way behind, so he's going to hold on to 21st for the time being. But with that and Alvin still plodding round, who's just going around the carousel, we've got two wounded cars out on track, and so everyone's going to have to be extra vigilant indeed in these darkening conditions.
Well, last minute info on the What We Do Racing case. Remco has given them one more what's it called? One more chance to get into the pits, and if they can't now, he will remove them himself.
Yeah, one last chance, I think.
Yeah.
And the last chance saloon, as opposed to the last chance Celine, which is still going around somewhere on the track, wherever that is, 14th now, because Marcin Skyzarczak is now in that car in P14. Welcome to the race, Marcin, for Roaring Pipe Maniacs. So, good to see yet another new face adding to the roster. And Roy Schroten is round again in 21st position and scrapes the barriers. It's almost like he was having some kind of skin wash surgery.
Yeah. But over to a happier conversation. We have a guest.
Yeah, good evening.
We do indeed. Hello, Standy. You're back again. How you doing?
Pretty good. It was a tough stint going in the car with the coming up later hours. And first of all, I want to thank 05 Motorsports for having a great fun at the end of my stint. It was a great battle. I'm not sure who was in the car. It was really fun to race against them, really fair. Not big drama, even we were like 10 feet from each other away. And with also some situation pretty close for getting us both out of the race, but it was really fun to race against them. And another special thanks to, I'm not sure what team it is, a green-white Porsche going out there. They were just awesome by lapping, and they did the best they could, and they saw, okay, there's coming the leader, there's coming the second car in behind. We just pull ourselves into a position where they can overtake us perfectly. So it was, yeah, I just want to say thank you to these guys. They're doing really a good job to let us pass through.
Good stuff.
That was the main thing.
Well, it's nice to hear people saying actually good things about other drivers and so on and so forth, because obviously we concentrate on all the drama, but we miss out some of the good, clean, excellent driving, of course, that's going on out there on track, which is pretty much the best way of dealing with stuff. As on your screens is a battle for 22nd between Regis Lemec for Ace Kite Racing, being leaded, wheeled in by Andreas Stankiewicz for LT United. So things standing quite well for you at the moment then, Stan, obviously. Play on your
we were a bit surprised. We were really surprised. I mean, I had a little slight touch to the wall, but it made no matter to the car, so it was still building up the pace. We started into the race, just wanted to get through it. No, without damaging the car, without big dramas, not fighting too hard. But somehow our starting driver decided to break all lap records done before in our testing, so yeah, it went pretty good. He did an awesome first stint, and I was just trying to keep the car together. And yeah, somehow I saw that the 05 Motorsports was coming out of straight off the pits when I was flying by. And after my pit stop, he was just like, I think the most was 7 seconds, and then I just somehow mentioned, or it closed up to him. I'm not sure what tactic they are driving right now, because Wilfred is doing a bit slower than he did before, not sure why. But yeah, I hope our strategy against 05 will work, and Bill needs to make 1 stop less than we do, or one lap less than we do. Maybe it can work out till the end.
How is What Blue Racing doing so far? Are they into the pits yet? Yeah, they're going into the pits now.
Good stuff. Sorry, I'm just keeping an eye on something. We've got Andreas Stankiewicz there just closing down on Regis and Lemec, going from 22nd to 23rd places. So that is now hotting up indeed. We know Oscar does like that livery. That might make him want to push for to get past little Mr. Pinky. He continues to close on down. Well, I will keep my fingers crossed for you, Stander, and hopefully...
Hope we keep the car just together. The rest doesn't matter if we end up on P2 or on last place. It doesn't really matter for me. It's important to have fun out there, to keep the car together. And
Damn right.
yeah, just don't make stupid things.
Fun is the name of the game. Fun has come to the end now for Waterblue Racing. They've retired their car. So that's the end of them. 25 teams now remaining. Best of luck then, Stander. Thanks for coming in.
So
come back later on and we'll have a good old natter.
yeah, sure, why not? So have a nice evening till then. Bye bye.
Take care. As who's that off I hear in my ear? It's Stankiewicz has moved up because Regis has gone off. So Ace Kite Racing, whoops and a daisy, that didn't work out at all well for them. An unforced error sending them off the track. And Stankiewicz takes up P22. 2 little ducks.
What Blue Racing is out of the race, if you didn't mention it.
They are indeed.
Yeah. Just went in and spoke to them.
Martin Bolgen and Gary Allen are coming into the pits through the Grand Prix trackway.
Yeah, if they have damage on the car, they're allowed to do that, but only if they damaged it during the Grand Prix circuit.
I think they must have done, because they're kind of limping into the pits. They were running 24th. That effectively makes you restart your laps. He's now into 25th. It will become 24th. Still ahead of Olympic Motor Racing. As someone struggling there. Oh, it's Roy Schroten and Regis Lemac side by side practically in battle for 22nd and 23rd into the pits together. GPVWC versus Ace Kite Racing. This will be a test of the pixelated pit stops. Let's see what happens there. I shall hand you over to my more than capable friends Oscar and Liam just to take you over for something while I organise something that if you refresh your screens you might see a slight prize available on the forum banners. Scratch my chinnies.
Ooh. So just watching the pit stop at the moment then, so it should be a scheduled driver change. And so there's 18 hours 47 minutes left to go, so you see the track slowly starts to turn tonight, and it will be starting to be a test now of what the drivers are capable of in the night. It's a completely different mindset, as we've said before, compared to daytime racing, because there's just that much more danger, and you can't see, to be honest, where you're going. You're banking on your headlights sort of thing, and the car's in front of you. So if you're on your own, you're literally relying on your headlights and what light they're producing. So it's a much more conservative style of driving, and we'll see who can get that balance correct. As you see the team GPVWC leave the pit lane first. Timo Toika takes control of the car in P22 at the moment then, as Toshi is 23rd, and he's going to be trying to push his way past Timo Toiga. So Timo is obviously quite a known driver in the GP League and representing the league right now in P23. So let's see what he can do. It looks like we've got a guest in the broadcast. Matt, are you there?
Hey, Liam.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't quite ready yet, but...
Oh.
But if you want to.
Nah,
Yeah,
just give me 5 seconds and I'll be right with you.
Yeah, awesome. Sorry about that.
So just while we're waiting for that to come back on, we've got a great scrap-a-roo going on for 19th and 20th. Carl Middleton has finally been caught by Adam Kuzminski for Ace Motorsport versus Sim Racing PL, and Kuzminski getting 2 wheels on the grass on the exit of that turn there, as they... That was a bit of lag there for Stanky Vicious actually, so I thought those both dropped behind the order. I got a bit confused. As those two continue to battle on, we also have some prizes available potentially, such as watch and win R Factor 2. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Now, we have a 20 question quiz, all to do with racing games. And racing is something that Kuzminski is definitely doing at the moment to hound Carl Middleton. Everyone can play, everyone's a winner. Only I know the... Well, not everyone's a... Yeah, you can play too, you just don't want to say your answers out on air. Keep them all together in a little text file, as Kuzminski once again hounds the back of Carl Middleton. And what will happen is for... Okay, that's allowed. But yes, what we're going to do is... Every 45 minutes or so, until the end of the broadcast, I shall shout out a question. Please don't try and ruin it by going onto Wikipedia. Have a go first before you just ruin it. Someone's in trouble. Oh, it's Lee Palmer's got round Shane and Adam for Simtech Motorsports for 17th and 18th positions. So that appears to have just been a straight swap there. Kuzminski still behind Middleton as those two continue on. The first question then, just jot down your answers and we'll send them all in. We'll arrange how to do it later on. I'm just doing Bram, getting that sorted out now. The first question then, what was Jeff Crammond's first racing game that he released called? That is, what was Jeff Crammond's first racing game that he released called?
I think I got it, but I don't. No, I don't.
Shush. Shush it. No, just make sure, to pop it down in, say, like Notepad or something with your answer, and we'll collect them all. And,
Simon, you can say yay or nay to me, because I'm not competing for winning any prizes on this one.
Yeah, give us a little kinky clue.
But jot that down on a notepad and then quickly look up on your screens, because here comes Kuzminski down the side of Carl Middleton, and he's got it covered. Carl Middleton trying to go back in for a dipper slipstream to see whether he can repass him back through on a kind of elongated switcheroo, but it's not going to work because they're now going in. In fact, that looked like Carl has flashed his lights for some reason there. I think it's just a dip down on the hill, to be fair, but as they come into the last couple of corners, Middleton hot on the brakes but not tapping the back of Kuzminski. They both exit out of the final one. I fancy Carl to have a half-hearted go down into turn 1, but he's actually quite slow on the exit as they're into the pits. In fact, are they both in? Yeah, so no, Kuzminski continues on. Carl Middleton into the pits. Probably Ryan Walker will be jumping into that car. So that will be
And,
quite fun.
So we do have a guest with us. We have Matt Weston. So Matt, how's your race been so far?
Well, what I've been racing is I had a pretty good race up until like about 5 minutes ago, where sadly Alvin lost control on one of the curbs and put a puncture on the left side, I think it was. Yeah, left front. And then we went into the pits, which then didn't fix our car, so that was a little bit of a bug there. And then we couldn't get repaired, so that was the end of a race.
So an unfortunate early end to the race, but I mean, obviously you want to try and take the positives towards the next one. But what do you think of the actual track then? Do you think the drivers are going to see more of a challenge as it fades into the night?
Yeah, I can't, personally I can't get around the flipping daytime, so it's going to be a bit of a nightmare if it's night.
Well, Matthew, were you not driving for Waterloo Racing today?
Yeah, I was supposed to be going on at 8:30, 6:30 GMT +1 time, but obviously because of this incident now, I won't be racing, and the rest of them too. But still, we had quite a good time, looking to each other and getting stuff sorted, so can't really complain.
Oh, then a question about your quiz. Jeff Crummond wasn't the creator of iRacing, was he?
No.
Yeah, I thought I was a bit wrong then. Be right back, I'm going to go research this, I think. Kind of like, who was I thinking of? I swear there's someone called Jeff that works for iRacing.
I can't really divulge in that because it may start going into other people's questions later on down the line. La 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 la. But yeah.
Ooh.
Nope. Nope, because we don't want to give people on. And yes, it might. Yeah, you might be slightly abused, even more than what most people do on Facebook to you. To be fair,
Corner.
that won't go down too well. I tell you what, the battle. It's not a battle anymore. The lead two are now 12 seconds apart from each other, so that's not kind of helping themselves out much. So I'll continue that on. Anyone got any questions for Matthew, I think, before he goes off and drowns his sorrows with beer?
That's what you think.
What are you going to drown it in?
I don't know.
Well, not beer, because you're a young man, aren't you?
I was going to say I'll put it over the car, but I can't really do that considering the car's damaged, so...
We've lost someone. We've lost RMI Motorsports. What's happened to early Marius Meervold? It looks like a disconnection there. Roy was going to be taking over that car. Please don't say they've just disconnected. Oh my god. No! Whilst he's doing that, we've got also welcome to the race Dave Carl Smith for Torrent Motorsport Mobile in 7th position. And apparently he's not really had much of a test in any of it. Joachim, what's going on?
Well, you tell me. This is the same issue we suffered yesterday during testing.
Oh, no.
Going into the first corner, suddenly R-Factor stops working for Roy. We had it 2 or 3 times during yesterday's testing, but then it went okay.
Oh, what a shame.
So that means RMI is out of the race.
Oh, maybe we should get one final look at the rear wing. before it's done. PE16, goodbye my friend, we knew you well.
Yeah.
So that's the end for that. Yeah.
And there was just a driver swap with Brendan Kashmarek and Espen Tipple, just to get that information.
Tipple with the nipples in P8 for our. We've also got, who's that? Ryan Walker's now in P20 for Ace Motorsports. We've also got Timo Toika for GPVWC. I always think of Tonka Cars when he's out on track. Don't know why, I think it's just a surname. And also Kevin Toshi for Ace Kite Racing in 22nd place. So new drivers on the grid. I was going to say, I'm sure I ordered his surname on a takeaway menu somewhere online. We will be doing takeaway bingo later, actually, everyone. Excitement abound. Oh dear. Well, Joachim, do you know what? I feel so sad for you guys. I need another beer.
Yeah, I actually feel quite sad as well, because when Roy was done with his stint, I was going to have mine.
Damn. Yeah. I mean, how long do you prep before you actually go into these races?
Well, Roy's been in quite a while. Or do you mean before the actual event?
before the actual event, where you're obviously chatting away. Oh, not chatting away. Well, you could be chatting away, but you'll be like practicing the circuit, getting your setup sorted out, same on and so forth.
Well, I can't speak on my own behalf because I've been too busy organizing the events. But I know Roy Ulmarius and Roy Ulmarius, they have been practicing quite a lot for a long time. And they also have been working on the setup and the skins and everything. And then we got Ivar Bratlin in to help us. He put up a great setup for the car. And also we have Eric Twite with us, but he wasn't about to drive, sadly.
Oh, damn. Good battle going on. Yeah, it's a dead Ferrari from Sim and Skins Motorsport in P13, limping around. It looks like the cock's blown his load by the looks of it, because it's all over the place. Look, there's loads of smoke coming out everywhere. As Martin Skyjarsback goes up into 12th. It's fine, it's fine. But yes, they're up into... Well, they're down into 13th position now. They've got quite a way before Mr. Bistro himself, a Rising Power Motorsports, pops up. But no, he's definitely cocked it up by the looks of it. By the time... I wonder if he can get back to the pits. I don't think... Oh no, round she goes. Definite cock up. So, rear left puncture for him as Kuzminski just about to lap him. Something is not right with the car anyway, so he's gonna get back to the pits again for him. Who else? I saw someone else pop in. P10, Alex Renus has joined Akuri Sim Motorsport in the GT2 category. Lots of things could come out wrong, to be fair, from my mouth. In fact, I think if you asked my mother, she would just say I was a wrong un from birth. Get out the violin. So, how many does that leave us with now? 23 teams left. We're only at the 5.5 hours mark. 24th position, Marius Nicolai's in for Olympic Motors Racing Team. 5 laps adrift. They're in for what looks like a potentially routine pit stop. Possibly a driver change. Marius has been in that car for quite a while. And well, we've nearly lost almost half the field, and we're only getting to quarter way through. So, we've got a couple of battles that are slowly brewing up. But I shall pass you over to the wonderful hands of Joachim, Oscar and Liam, whilst I rummage around and see what takeaway menus I have.
Well, I've just been in the RMI TeamSpeak channel, and I can
bet
tell
that was fun.
That's not a happy bunch.
No happy bunnies.
He's
Oh,
almost
dear.
going into a funeral.
Oh no, let's get the funeral parade out. There's Jan Wimensing. Oh, you'll be called the Black Widows next race. As Sergei Soldatov is constantly closed in by Jan Wimensing in the battle for 4 and 5, just over 2 seconds, the gap between the two. And Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, that sky is getting a little bit dark.
I think that shadow will look perfect after the watershed.
I don't know who Tom Parker is, but apparently his voice is the sex, according to.
What on earth is a bushy Wookie?
If Tom Parker is watching, hello mate.
Do you know him?
Yes I do.
How is his voice?
Is his voice the sex?
No, I think that's speaking a bit.
As here comes Jan Wimensing and Soldatov. My goodness me, it was like he jinked across a little bit there, and they touched on one of the faster parts of the circuit. Soldatov holds the position for a Curry Sim Sport for now. Sim Motorsport, sorry. Jan Wimensing for Sim Race VM. The old Netherlands continues to hold on to that position. They're 4.5 minutes off the leader, but this is still a battle for just one shy of a podium position for GT1 class and the overall race itself. It's a definite honour at stake. Also potentially a kidney pie involved if someone buggers it up. And I think Jan Wimensing will now just wait until they get onto this long straight towards the end of the lap. Although he's got to watch out because it's not quite hitting all the racing points. See how that one goes. Just a quick one on the quiz. I've had a few people ask. I will post the questions in the forum as well, just so that people have got something to refer back to as we go. But I'd recommend you to watch the broadcast. So yes.
It's all good. I've already got them wrong, so I'm off to a fantastic start.
Oh, have the quiz started?
I've not even seen a right answer yet on the chat room. But yeah, Jan Wimensing continues to go on. Yeah, just to recap question 1, what was Jeff Craman's first game that he made that was of a racing variety? Here comes Jan Wimensing, and that's not going to work there. Soldatov comes cutting across, he's dicing with death there, because that corner you can only really take one line into as Wimensing regroups. There's plenty of places to have a go, and there's plenty of hours to do it inside. Best time. Looking left, looking right. He's on the grass, and that's never going to be a good braking opportunity. Back to it around all the little kinks. That scares me silly, this part of the circuit, because it reminds me of like an extreme end of Spa, where you're doing all of the fast kinks and curves, where you know you shouldn't lift, but you really want to at the same time. So they're under no pressure from Attila Kiss behind, because he's a further 4 minutes adrift, and he's just been lapped for the first time as a Simco Dream Team car, as Wilfried van Brink continues his 15-second advantage over Olaf Mausenbach. Backer, sorry. Sergei Soldatov continues to bulk Jan Wimensing. It's looking very, very racy now towards the end of this lap.
There's a great question for you in the recommended box now, Simon.
What's that?
From Scott Woodwith.
Oh, I love that question, Scott. We'll come to that in a second because I just want to see what's going to happen with Jan when he gets onto the back straight. But that would be great for everyone to answer. I can think of that. It's not revs, by the way, Ivan. Sorry, I shouldn't be giving out half answers to people, but yes. Sergey is continuing on. Here we go, down the hill into one wheel on the curb there. If anything, actually, Soldatov is slightly pulling away, so we'll see. As soon as I say that, Jan starts to go back in. Oh my goodness me, that's not going to help over the bump, and he's just about held it all together. Jan Mensing all over the back, and now he's on the curbs too. These two will end up taking each other off if they're not careful. We saw people collect each other there before as they start to break for some of the latter corners, but Soldatov, they're just catching the bump. Ooh, wrong. Good.
Well, this is going to end badly.
I know. Maybe we should throw in some chips. Crash or overtake. You choose.
Ice cubes and everything.
Because they were just going. Who did they get round there? Someone was going. It was Tycho, wasn't it? So.
Yeah, I think so.
That was that. There's just been a change in position. That was pit stop related. As here comes Ensing down to the straight. Pulled to the outside, they've got Kuzminski just up ahead, but they're not going to approach them before they get to this corner, and if anything, Soldatov is just limited to feet and gone straight in behind. Is he going to have a second run on the slipstream for an elongated switcheroo down into the corner? I don't think he's close enough. No, he is not. Jan Mensing has the position. Soldatov pops out. That's going to be problems if he does it there. I think it was just purely the different racing lines, actually, to be fair. Jan Mensing holds the position. Soldatov is not done yet. Let's see how they are on the exit from this corner. Soldatov a little bit stiff on the exit, and he's not quite got in as Jan Mensing pits after all of that. Oh, my goodness me. If you knew that was going to happen, why did he go for it there and then? Surely it would have been safer to hold back. As he follows Kuzminski in. Ooh, pit stop drama there. So Soldatov moves back up into fourth position. Thanks for the drama there, but Jan almost doing it unnecessarily there for Sim Racing VN.
Anyway, Simon, what's this question from I forget who it was in the chat box. Scott in the chat box.
Okay, Scott Woodwis popped down in the chat box for everyone to answer. If you could only play one sim for the rest of your life, either out right now or in progress, what would you choose? I'd like to add, and why.
That's a hard one.
iRacing, because there's a lot more to come from it, and I enjoy the racing on there more than I enjoy the racing on other sims.
Okay.
I think I'm going with R Factor 2.
Yeah?
Because
Why?
it's still in beta, so it only can get better. And they are continually developing extra material for it. But that's a game that could last forever.
That is true. Someone's put in F1 2012. I'm like, David Turner's popped that on there. Toka 2 for Jonathan Achahink.
Ooh, Jonathan Åkerklint.
It's getting there.
Åkerklint.
Åkerklint.
Yeah, that's better.
I just sound like I need to be it's like I sound like I've just had braces put in.
It sounds like you just sneezed.
Oh, choose. Oh, someone's put in Project Cars. See, Project Cars really does appeal to me. I'm going to have a good think about that, actually, because I'm not sure. Because I'd be inclined to say R Factor, just purely because I've spent
Ryan
so
Walker
long with
just
it.
spun off the track.
As Ryan Walker's off the track in P20,
Going into the pits
is
now.
now into the pits for maybe a repair or two
Yes,
for
puncture,
Ace
I guess.
Motorsports. So we'll see what's going on. David Turner, is there a Viva Pinata free? I really... wow. I would like to see, and this is purely in my own fantasy world, a Katamari racing game. I would love that. That would be awesome.
Ain't that smuggle truck?
Yeah. Or... so I used to spend loads of time on Trackmania as well. It's going to take me forever to think. I would like a Formula 1 sim racing game where you could download every single season that is available, and it would be constantly updated each season. There we go, that'll do me. But not done by the Codemasters team. Please. Yeah, Codemasters graphics, but by Bizarre Creations. As Ryan Walker rejoins in 21st position, he's lost a position between Kevin Toshki as he rejoins and is... No, that's Bonus Boliaric. They're just popping a lap on him as he comes through. Timu Toika just a bit behind, but Kevin Toshki actually got out ahead. The little pinky Ace Kite car. So those two are still quite close out on track. So that'll be quite interesting to see how that all pans out later on. Marius Burt is back in the Simtech Motorsports car in P17. Welcome back to the fray. And I think that's the only other driver change at the moment, apart from Cameron Chowdhury, who's in 05 Motorsports in P2, just rejoining the track. So welcome to the race, Cameron. And this should be fun to see how he does, because he was in dire straits, I think, last time out. He was in all kinds of trouble.
Brothers in Arms?
Brothers in Arms, yeah, that's true. Maybe he should be in the Roaring Pipe Maniacs team by the looks of it. Yes, actually, I agree with Kenneth in the chat room. I loved the F1 challenge where you had the 4 seasons, and it was actually it was 99 to 2002, I think it was, and the actual real leveries and driver changes all took place. So that would be quite good. I am pant-wettingly excited for Little Big Planet karting as well, but that's just me being a child. Mod Nation Racers was such a missed opportunity. And F1 1997, I think, would be my favourite F1
Brandon
game.
Kashmeric there. Good choice, man. That was my first game. It's fantastic.
What was everyone's first racing game? If that was that yours, Oscar? Oh, Cameron, straight off into the gravel. Some good job he's done it there.
Oh!
I think, did he hit someone? It looked like.
Oh.
Someone hit him.
Oh, he smacked the
Tipple car.
Yeah, tipple in the nipple. Dear, that's not good at
Replay,
all.
please.
I was watching Cameron Chowdhury for 05 in the gravel. Yeah, Tipple doing the same thing as well. So all kinds of action going on there. I was busy reacting to one problem and there was something else going on. Welcome to the fold in P12, Sebastian Fleming for virtual endurance racing. First time he's been out on track too. And Daniel Schitz is in the Sim & Skins Motorsports in 13th position. So again, new people added all the time. 23 teams still remaining.
Espen Tipple actually spun the car and then the spiker of Spoyark, or what it's called, hit the back of him.
I like reading whatever people put. Jonathan Ahahink. Let's put soccer too.
Åker Klint.
Who else was good? Lewis Goodway. Yes, I remember. 97 was when Brundle first came onto everything. World's Greatest Police Chases. I have that actually on the PS1. That was good. Plenty of stuff going on. So,
I had Felony 1179, or was it called? 1197? I don't remember.
My first racing game that I remember playing to death was on my ZX Spectrum, and it was Nigel Mansell's World Championship. It was awesome. And I used to sit and play full races, and I was only ever allowed on my computer for 2 hours per day on the weekend, and that would essentially be my 2 hours, and then my dad would be like, "Get off the buggery computer, son," and I'd be like, "Okay." Normally right at the
There's
very
one
end.
more lap.
But I always remember with that one, you was given a certain amount of fuel that you had to survive the races on, and I kept forgetting to change boosts up and down. So it was. I think it's really funny actually that all the way back in the mid '80s or late '80s, they were putting things in for that, which you only really see have just kind of come back into sim racing now, because that was kind of its big thing. All of a sudden, you get all the arcade stuff, and now it's back again. So, circle of life.
Well, I guess my first game actually was Stunts, or was this what called? A really, really old Windows game.
Awesome stuff.
But we got a guest in the broadcast booth.
We do have a guest in the broadcast booth.
It's Brendan Crashman. Oh, sorry.
I heard that.
We have been very mean to you, Brendan. We do apologise.
Yes,
Meant with
I've
love.
heard.
It is with love. And you have just redeemed yourself with F197.
Well, yeah, if my on-track activity can't redeem myself, then at least a bit of nostalgia helps.
Back to days when you faced in the right direction.
What a long day, isn't it? 19 more hours of this.
Wouldn't have
good
it
news
any
is-
other way.
Yeah, good news is we found a bit of consistency, so that shouldn't be happening quite as much.
At least your
but
team is still driving.
Yeah. We could slide a podium out of this.
Yeah.
We haven't ruled that out, but the Corvette is so difficult to drive. I mean, when you look at the standings, the top three are Celine's, I think, or 1, 2, 4, something like that. And the two main protagonists from the RDLMS LMP2 fight are the only two Corvettes left, and we're sitting 6th and 8th at the moment. So I think it does support my claim a little bit, that it's just a very difficult car to drive consistently and with any semblance of pace.
I mean, why did the car... Is it because the car is hard to drive, or is it because it was damaged early on? What's caused the kind of...
it's just very difficult to drive. Actually, the car got easier to drive with the damage, to be honest. It was a little down on top speed, a little, you could push it a little harder into the braking zones without, being so knife edge on turn-in. A little more margin for error. But the way... I think it's a tire model thing. When you come on the throttle on corner exit, it's almost like the tire can't support any lateral load. So if you've got the car loaded up when you come back on the throttle, anywhere near the useful power band, the tire just gives way, and the rear end just slides away. And from that, it's very difficult to drive consistently, because you never know what it's going to do from one lap to the next. But we've changed up some things. We've swapped compounds and added a bit more downforce. So hopefully, if we can stop with the early, the mistakes early on in the stint, we can get a bit of consistent pace out of it. It's the best of both worlds.
Awesome, that's ours. Well, Obviously, you've gone through lots of trials and tribulations today as Lee Palmer's into the pits from P15 for DSC Motorsports, just while the light continues to fade away from the Nordschleife circuit. It's how does a team kind of band together to try and get through stuff? Because I know you lot stick quite close together with each other. When someone's having a bad day, how do you help each other get over it? With alcohol?
Well, it's been a long time since we've had a race go quite this badly, to be honest. It is just Esben and I at the moment. Ennis backed out when he realized how horrible the Corvette was, and Joseph was never in. So, you know, at the moment it's just sort of finding ways to get the car drivable, and sort of refocusing in on, you know, this is a long race. It's not worth, you know, throwing a fit over a couple of incidents at the moment. We've got a long way to go, and there's a lot of time to make all of it up. Time for the race to come back to us. So it's just, you know, for both Esben and I, refocusing on the end goal and trying to keep the pointy end forward.
Good stuff, good stuff. Just while we're talking about that, in an interesting kind of way, Cameron Chowdhury for 05 Motorsports is almost throwing things away because he's done a 9-minute 46 lap, and that's pretty dire, even if you've been into the pits or not, and he lost basically 1 minute 46 seconds off the team's best lap time. Olaf Matzenbacher is just kind of pulling out the lead, so potentially, even though they're not battling necessarily on track together, this is going in a good light currently for OnlineSimRacing.d, so we'll keep an eye on that one. I did have a really good question for you, Brendan, and now it's just popped right out of my head, so I do apologise. I'm just going to sit here and dribble for a second. Oscar, have you got anything?
No, I've only just sat down. I'm sorting out a couple of other things. Sorry, I've left you high and dry there.
That's all good. Have you got... Oh, should we turn the tables? You got anything you want to ask us, Brendan?
No, I haven't. No, I mean, I've done the broadcasting thing myself before, so... yeah, I don't know. It's, while we're talking about the lead fight, just something that we'd been following that. And we had talked about it before the race. Obviously, Wilfred Vanderbrink is obscenely fast. He's got immense pace. And then we saw Pablo get in the car, and all of a sudden his pace dropped right off to the point where he was really not going any quicker than we were going. And Cameron now just dropped the pace back even further. So, you know, just I think highlights the importance of consistency, necessarily, you know, over raw pace. Because even if you can get a guy to do 3 or 4 stints at, you know, sub 8, if your other guys are in the 820s, you're hosed anyway.
Definitely. I think you take consistency and stability over absolute raw pace any time of the day in this type of race. So, good stuff. So, that was what I was going to say, sorry. There's only 2 of you. How are you going to sleep?
Haven't worked that out yet. No, we did draw up a strategy, but unfortunately that strategy involves me starting with a quadruple stint. And we got halfway through the second stint and realized that between the damage on the car and just being out of rhythm, that was not going to be an option. So we've had to reassemble things, as it were. Esben will get a little bit of sleep while I do a long stint in the night. The car's actually more consistent at night, go figure. Temperatures are lower, a little bit more grip. So he'll get a bit of sleep while I do a long stint, and then, oh dear.
We've lost Esben Tipple.
Oh, have we really?
Our Ferrara out. Wreck for wreck. All gone.
Well then, never mind. That'll be that, won't it?
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, well, these things happen, don't they?
I'm just trying to I'm just trying to see what happened. It doesn't look like... Yeah, it just looks like he disconnected down the back of the course there.
Yeah, I tell you what, he's dropped off TeamSpeak as well, so I gather he's, connection lost 1342, so about a minute ago.
Bugger.
Yep. Oh
Well, I'm sorry, mate. You go and get yourself a burger and a beer.
Yep.
Put your feet up, and
Think of me.
Yeah, I may, if y'all are looking for some extra commentators, I may join you.
why not?
Free
We'll
to say.
probably we'll be flagging.
Alright, well, maybe we'll chat with you guys later. Apart from that, thanks for bringing about our downfall.
Sorry. Commentator's curse, that one.
Yeah, how about
Yeah.
it? Oh well. Have a good one, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, we've got Roy back in as well. Have you
Liam.
consoled yourself? Oh, Roy.
Obviously not.
That's
Oh, well.
he's done that after wiping away the tears.
Yeah, the worst disappointment is gone now, so...
Unlucky, mate. It obviously, looking at how the race has gone, happens to many people.
Yeah, and by this rate there won't be anyone left once we pass midnight. So, well. Most annoying thing is actually I had this kind of problem yesterday as well, when we did test the driver swaps, and then I did change some values and stuff in the PLR file, and I got everything working. And today it's not working again, so yeah. Literally. Both Ivar and Nordmaris did a very good job with bringing the car so far and keeping it in one piece as well, but what can you do?
Not like you can do, dude. Except for get absolutely rat-assed with us in the commentary box.
Oh, yeah, obviously, that's, that's a good number too, isn't it?
Richard Roberts has popped in the chat box, actually. Not that we're going to be the best people to answer this. Any suggestions on how to avoid being disconnected?
Well, if I knew, I would have disconnected.
Well, obviously, your actual internet provider, things like that, you want to have as best one as you can, but you just can never be 100% sure. If you want to boost your chances, then make sure the only thing running is the sim that you're racing. That's all there is to it, and if you do disconnect, then it's normally just down to bad luck. Nothing else to it.
I'll also
It's just
say
how it goes,
never-
Richard.
I'll also say as well, don't do wireless. always get the cable in the back, because that will help.
I'd say the best solution is not to go with TalkTalk, if I'm honest. The only advice I can offer.
The ultimate solution would probably be to get every driver staying at the same place and just change, well, one hop out of the seat and the next one hop in like Joachim now was supposed to do.
It really did destroy and kind of racing experience last year, because you know, you're doing like a 60-odd lap race online on the Xbox. I know the Xbox wasn't properly sim racing, but and you just drop out on lap 45 or something because your connection goes. It used to seriously go like every hour on the dot, and there was like nothing you could do. So the amount of times on FIFA where I lost match bonuses and things. So just find like a broadband provider that's strong near you. Make sure you're near your router, and I think that's it really.
But man of the hour, he's here.
Esben
Tipple.
Tipple. With the extra nipple. Poor old Esben. What happened?
Random disconnect. That's never happened to me before.
What a time to have it happen.
Yeah, it's so typical because I was just finding my rhythm. Brendan had just had a good stint, so yeah, we were well on our way to redeeming ourselves.
You were indeed. You're reeling in the people in front, and you'd got yourself into, well, deep into the top 10, I think it was. Well, you was coming up to getting into the top 10 at least anyway, so a real shame. You're still sitting in 12th currently at the moment now, even though you're not running anymore. So what can you take away from this that's still a positive?
Downforce is a nice thing. Because I don't know if Brendan told you this, but we started off with quite a low setting for our aerodynamics, and well, it handled terribly. And I haven't got much experience driving these GT cars, and because I usually drive in the prototype series or the LMS. And everybody's going on about, oh, these cars are so difficult to drive, and I hopped in, and yes, it was like telling a cocker spaniel with diarrhea to sit. I mean, it was impossible. So I thought, all right, maybe this is just the way it is. So I just lived with it, and then Ennis told me to add some more aerodynamics, and it worked a charm. I tried it offline between stints. And I was, pretty well until that disconnection, so I'm quite disappointed.
Just to answer David Turner's question in the chat room about buying R-Factor, I have it as a DVD disc which you can buy through retail. You can get the download only, and you can get R-Factor Lite, which is, if you already own the game, you can just download the bare bones without all of the little mods and tracks that come with it, so that's all there for you. But yes, you can choose either or option.
Yeah.
Husband's gone.
His connection timed out again.
Oh no. Well, at least it was if it's going to go out, it might as well go out with a bang, with smoke and flames and everything. But well, I feel like we're in the depressed saloon.
Woo!
And we've now approached the 6-hour mark and gone past it, so we're a quarter of the way. Let's do a quick restart on the broadcast. On that note, we'll be back in about a couple of ticks here on simrace.tv, home with the coverage for your 24 hours of Race Department's 24-hour Nordschleife.